Boom. Let's see. Let's see if we're on here. Starting. Here we go.
Are we gonna make that quieter?
Yeah, we can. Doesn't really matter. Here we go. Let's see here. I guess we'll just have people let us know if it's garbage quality because we're also attempting Hangouts simultaneously. This used to never be an issue before, but it is now.
It's because of the quarantine. I think everybody's using the internet.
Exactly. We'll just have really low, poor quality.
Hey, everyone.
Here we go. Millennial Chicken. My guy. There we go. Okay. Anna, you want to play some Star Soldier Vanishing Earth?
Sure.
So, Thomas played this game, our 3-year-old, and he managed to, like, beat the first couple of levels on beginner mode by just pure luck of going to, like, one of the corners of the screen and just not getting hit.
He's one of those people that has a little lucky penny with him at all times.
Yeah. All right, let's do this thing. So let's go into the options. I'm going to put you on beginner mode here, babe.
Oh, thanks.
That's the way I like to play. Because I do not give a damn.
What is this game? What do I do?
So, this is to move around, obviously. This is fire. This is fire, like, sort of like a landmine scatter bomb. And then this is missiles. Straight. So this is limited, this is limited.
Okay.
So if you need to, like, clear an area, you press the trigger or that.
Got it.
From Brazil, all right. Oh, sorry, that was just a demo, sweetheart.
Oh, I thought you started it for me.
No. I was like, oh, you're taking it over. You can go ahead. Oh, blue.
Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to choose something.
Mercy.
Whoops.
Mercy. Thomas insists that we do blue, even though it's not my preferred.
I'm sure.
Blue is more powerful, but it's not as fast of a shot. You shoot anything that moves.
Oh, shit.
You died.
Sorry, I have literally no idea what this game is.
There you go.
Okay.
So you want to get all of the P's.
P?
Yep.
I want P?
Yep, you want the P,
dang.
and then the E blocks. Those are power and energy, I think. They replenish your B button and Z button.
Can everybody see what I'm doing right now?
Oh crap, you know what? They can't.
Good.
The screen's frozen. Let's
Give me
see
that
here.
P.
What's going on here?
Oh, I got it. I got it.
Alright, we're having some technical difficulties
I can
here.
see why Thomas won by going in the corner. That's funny.
Yeah, alright, let's try this again here, everybody.
So I want the E?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I get it. I get it.
Come on, what the heck's going on? What?
Oh, okay. See.
This is so strange. Here, pause it for a sec. This was working like a minute ago. Screen is frozen. This is a fantastic way to start.
Actually, it is because nobody got to see me suck really bad in the beginning.
All right, so this is the window.
Keep in mind, you guys, that Tony is very sleep deprived, so it's possible that something just isn't plugged in.
No, everything was functioning perfectly fine. What the hell is happening?
Can I get a 1 in the chat for Boomer Tony?
All right, let's try resetting the system.
What's the difference between cancel and exit?
In what?
Just in that
Oh,
pause screen.
cancel the pause screen or exit
Okay.
to the main menu is what it's asking you. All right, so let's do this again. It's just not...
Just
Okay.
unplug it and plug it in.
Let's try this again here.
Oh.
Is this thing in all the way?
Yeah.
Oh, I see something.
This is There we go. See?
Is it working now, you guys?
Yeah.
I see a loading dial.
What the hell? Except it's a totally the wrong resolution. What? What is happening?
Well, I'm just gonna play.
Why? Why are you doing this to me?
Because you tried streaming, Tony. That's why it happened.
Okay. This is a perfect thing to go live on right here.
You have far out ideas.
Okay. There we go.
Like the screen went black for a minute, and you
Okay.
killed me.
So here's what you want to do. A Far Out Ideas this year. Smoke weed every day.
Yay!
All right, looks like we are back online. I don't know what the heck happened
as soon as
here.
you guys can watch me, I get really bad again.
Okay, so I'm gonna take this, loop it around.
Is John here?
No, but okay, so we're playing Star Soldier
Oh, god damn it.
on the N64. Finally. Okay, so pause for a second here. I'm gonna show you one more tactic.
I died.
Okay, so we're gonna continue. You have unlimited continues.
Tony, you want to hear a beautiful
Nice.
voice?
Mission 1. Rumbling.
Rumbling. So in this level, they're pretty much, because we're playing on beginner, almost nothing is shooting at you. But when things are shooting at you or things get hectic, you can double tap R, and you see how it creates this little thing
Oh,
here.
it's like my little bubble.
Yeah,
of
so it
safety.
creates a little shield for just a moment, and then also if they're firing at you, if you catch it right, the energy beam bullet thing will actually go back to them and hurt them. See what it did there? You see how that one guy fired some pink stuff and it shot backwards? Let's see if we can do it again. No. I'll try to give you a better example. See? Okay, so you can use that as a defense when all else sort of fails. I'll play this level if you don't mind, just because I got the itch, and then we'll jump
No,
back to you.
please play. I don't have any desire to play.
You're doing good.
I want to read some comments.
You want to read them aloud?
Nah. Have you guys tried out the Mario 64 PC port that was released?
No, I have not, as it's essentially just Mario 64 on the PC. I heard that Nintendo sent their lawyers after whoever made that, unfortunately, but that is the Nintendo way.
They say, how's quarantine with the family?
It's hectic. And boring simultaneously. How would you describe it?
It's just, you know, we'll never get this family time again.
It is actually really nice. We've been able to make a lot of progress with our son in terms of potty training and going to sleep on time and such, which were like big struggles for him before. But at the same time, we're trying to work, you know, from home while in quarantine, and it's been really kind of challenging.
Yeah. Plus, we have a baby.
Yeah, plus we have a baby.
What's the best Persona game?
Never played a Persona game. Don't know. We'll say Persona 5, I guess.
What's the best Fursona game?
I don't know. Persona 5, I guess.
Yeah, Persona 5.
For sure.
How's everybody's quarantine going? Other than awful.
I know a lot of people are out of work, obviously.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Michigan keeps pushing back the stay-home order.
Lost life.
And, like, that's fine. I have a lot of friends who work in healthcare and are seeing the actual hell that's happening in the hospitals. And they're all for people staying home. We went out today for a drive, and most of the people were wearing masks, but while we were at the liquor store and I was waiting in the car for him, he went in with his mask, and this girl went in just with no mask, and I was like, what the... And then this old guy went in, you know, and he had his mask, and he was really old, and I'm like, you know, he's probably pissed off that that girl's not wearing a mask, and I don't know, it's just like, some people are taking it seriously and some people aren't, and like...
Well, every time I go to Kroger...
grocery store.
Yeah, Kroger's national. Well, yeah, I guess they're international, but everyone, like almost all of the customers, like 99% of the customers are wearing masks, and then now the employees have to wear masks too. But about 50% of them have the mask cover their mouth, but not their nose.
I know this
And it's
guy
like,
who
what
worked at the
the
liquor
hell?
store kept coming out to throw garbage away, and his mask was just right here.
Yeah, it's
and
like,
I'm
it's
what is the
do
point
you
of
not
that?
realize that you like air comes out of
And
your
the
nose?
fact that he is touching garbage and touching things all day and has his mask like this, you know he's gonna put it up over his nose again at some point. So it's like he's just touching his face. So
The
it's
reason
like, you guys,
why
like,
mask
common
reuse
sense.
it can be dangerous is because of like exposure with your hands touching it, and you know the particles, particulates getting into the mask, and then you're touching it with your hands, and vice versa, and blah blah blah. So it's like you don't want to be like touching the mask and readjusting it over your nose all the time. You know, like you just want it over your nose, and that's it. You know, I mean, as in over nose and mouth, and it stays there. Is what I mean to say.
Yeah, and like, yeah. I have barely been anywhere since March 15th. I've been like 2 places, and both times I wore a mask.
Your immune system is garbage.
Hello, John Bennett.
John Bennett's like, my machine's from 1995. I'm rebooting again.
What?
You're in the call?
You're in the call?
I don't.
Wait, where are you?
No, I don't see you.
Can you hear me now?
Can hear you on the phone.
I don't have a webcam.
Oh, hang on.
Oh wait,
Oh,
try
I
again.
didn't have the volume on. That's why.
Oh, way to go, Tony. Okay, I'm hanging up.
Okay, talk again. Let me see if you're being registered by the.
It's gonna be echoey as heck.
Okay, so your voice was live. So I hope whatever you said.
No, I knew it was, but I was just like.
Can you hear us, John? Can we hear you?
Yeah, I can.
Can you hear
yeah,
him?
Here, you
Okay.
need to have the headphone.
This is like
I'd respond here and
lame
there. You guys
technology.
continue talking. I was like,
John, I'm sorry.
into Tony Senior.
John, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
It's okay.
I was kept looking back at it to see if I would see your face.
The truth is that we really could hear you, and we were just ignoring you.
Yeah,
What awful friends.
yeah, that's it. That's us.
Never
I
mind.
wanted to make so many jokes about. So Anna, how's potty training Tony going?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's really loud. Can
Yeah.
you make that not happen? You know, Thomas has made a lot of progress potty training, and Tony's just regressed, like
Regressed big time. Yeah.
Any
nobody's
good
business.
Thomas
Wet in the
quotes?
bed. Well, today he told me to apologize to him for carrying him when he wouldn't walk on his walk. So
Yeah.
he's getting very, very, very cocky, and he's obsessed with Toy Story. So today,
As one does.
Tony was like, "Okay, Thomas, I can pick out your pajama. You can pick out your pajamas, or I will pick them out for you." And he's like, "Not today, Zurg,"
What?
because Zurg is like the bad guy from Buzz Lightyear's universe.
Oh yeah, it is.
So I don't know. He's so quotable. It's hard to keep track.
I think my favorite recent one was the "Okay, Thomas, noted." No, yes.
Yeah, yes, did. Oh my god. Well, lately when he goes number 2 on the potty, like he insists on his privacy in the bathroom, which is like cool. We're okay with you asking for your privacy. We do not need to be in there. But like lately when he goes number 2, we can hear him like exclaim from the bathroom, "What? What my heck? What? That's the biggest poop I've ever seen." So that's fun. Just like his dad, right?
Yeah.
Is there a way to not have the music in the headphones?
Yeah, let me see if this works. I'm experimenting with some stuff here. Yep, there we go. So, John, say something.
Now-
something,
oh.
something,
Oh,
something.
okay.
Okay, so
good,
he's
great.
on the stream. We'll do a quick audio test one more time, John.
Something, something, something.
All right, cool. So he
We've
is
got
good.
you in
we're a
our
little
head.
hot. Yeah, and then John's good, and then
And then what are people? We're not paying attention to anyone.
there we go.
Yeah. Who does number 2 work for? Yeah, that's a good one.
So this will
Who
mean
does
that
number 2 work for?
so this will mean that they don't have any the people watching won't have any gameplay volume. So maybe I'll just give them I'll see if I can give them a touch.
It's okay if it's a little bit. It was like I couldn't hear John.
Yeah, that's better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What else are people saying?
Ooh. Game over.
What is this?
Let's see.
I have no idea what that means.
There's too many buttons to do everything.
Any thoughts
Oh,
on
I know
the
what that-
Nintendo leak? Anything real juicy? I remember hearing that there could be some Zelda related stuff there.
He's going in timeout.
What is that?
Oh, it was already on.
Oh, that's not nice.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I put him in
console.
timeout. Did you just delete the messages?
Oh no, I put it the timeout thing. I was gonna say, favorite console. I don't know. It's kind of a mix between the Super Nintendo and because like the 32-bit and 16-bit sort of like Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1 was real good stuff, and then once it hit GameCube, then it didn't get too horribly dated, but like that 64 era, oh boy, it's fun, but oh man, does it not age well.
Yeah, I think stuff like this, like the N64 barely had any shmups, but this ages perfectly fine for me. I love some of the 2D stuff, you know, or like Doom 64 aged really good. But I think really any system in that generation where you're trying to do 3D with a limit of like 240 aspect ratio, or not aspect ratio, resolution, you're just kind of struggling. It just doesn't, you just don't have the power. Good God. Let me do this again. Here we go.
Yeah, some of the 64 games look pretty good. It's just some of them really, really don't.
Yeah.
There are some of them that like really, really played well to the strengths and weaknesses of the 64. And then every now and then there's like that one you rented as a kid and you're like, man, I'd like to go back to that and try that game out. It usually ends up being that game that you kind of forgot even existed, and you plug it in, you're like, oh god.
Yeah.
It's best to look at it like an art style like Picasso.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I was a Spyro fan when N64... Well, I know N64 is not Spyro, but this is like in the same vein. Like, when those games were big, I thought that they looked so great. And then, like, you know, the new remastered one came out recently. And I remember, and when I first saw it, I was like, oh yeah, this looks great. But I mean, it looks the same as the original. And then you see the original and you're like, no, it doesn't. But like, as a 12-year-old, it looked like so amazing, you know?
Yeah, well, I
So-
remember you saying, too, that you were shocked that it had voice acting.
Well, yeah, because I
You're
was
like-
used to the N64 and
Yeah.
like the Game Boys and stuff, and I had never. I was like, what? Like my rich friend who has a PlayStation? Like I didn't know that like rich people were allowed to have video games that had people talking in them.
Well, it's funny because the
Yeah.
games on the PlayStation generally were cheaper than the N64, but
I mean, yeah. I
it's
don't
probably just something that you didn't have, so you were
Right.
like, you know,
Rich
and maybe they were
friends,
rich, so
yeah.
you just associated with that.
I was so used to a lot of the voice acting in like full motion video and like some of those like DOS games that had a lot of voice acting. And then a friend of mine is like, oh dude, you gotta play this game on PlayStation, it's fully voice acted. And I was like, I don't know, it's pretty terrible most of the time. Then that game's name was Metal Gear Solid, and I was like, okay, this is actually pretty good. I take it back. Like, this is pretty damn good and still holds up pretty well. The graphics maybe not as much, but the acting, certainly for the time, was just kind of almost a class of its own.
Hey, John, was there ever a remake for the original Metal Gear Solid?
Yes. Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes for GameCube.
Okay, so is that a
Which I have that.
Is that a reimagining or a remake?
Okay, so kind of weird. It was both a remake and sort of a retranslation, and Kojima being like, "Hey, I wanted some even crazier shit in this."
Yeah.
So he's like, "Well, I really feel when Snake fights that helicopter, the audience needs to see Snake backflip and kick a missile out of midair."
That's amazing.
And it's like, okay, that's just insane anime bullshit, but if they committed, it was hilarious.
So I was gonna say the reason why I asked was because
I have to agree with AS. Twin Snakes is a very fitting title for Hard for Games.
Yeah, I like it.
We can only have a 2-man review for that game.
Yeah. So
Like House of the Dead. We're going to Q's house later.
Sorry, I'm fighting a boss and I'm trying to.
Thank you, Elias Jude, for the $5. That was very.
You gotta traditionally you read the.
So stay safe. Buy a Gatorade with this. I don't know.
Thank you so much.
Pedialyte.
Yeah, buy some Pedialyte. Get
Pedialyte.
mad
Wow.
drunk.
So what I was gonna say, John, was that if you remember, obviously the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3, or whatever, you put in a PlayStation 1 disc, it kind of smooths or whatever, makes it look slightly better, but and upscales it. But do you remember like Bleem, where it was like an emulator for PC?
Yeah.
There was
yeah.
also the Bleem Cast, which was an emulator for Dreamcast, and which eventually was sued to oblivion. But basically, you could play
PlayStation 1 games on the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
one of the things was Metal Gear Solid, and it actually
Yeah.
utilized the additional power of the Dreamcast to not just smooth it out, but to actually make it look better.
Yeah. So the problem is that still those were relatively low polygon counts,
Well, yeah.
very compressed textures and stuff like that. So like the best way to describe like the jump between sort of Twin Snakes and Metal Gear Solid 2 and the original Metal Gear Solid is when Snake would talk, they would nod his head to make sort of the people would
illusion
move their
that is, yeah.
hands and stuff like that. You had to kind of mannequin people a little bit, otherwise
Yeah.
they'd come off as dead. Whereas like even Snake's eyebrows are articulated in the later games. Like you realize like, oh wow, that's a huge jump there. Like PlayStation 2 and GameCube, it has some parts that have you go, oh, that's quaint, but some of it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And you aren't so realistic that you're hitting that like creepy, uncanny valley.
Yeah.
So, which like is every Mortal Kombat 11 cinematic is just uncanny valley now.
Can you do me a favor, John, and take the link that I sent you and go ahead and throw it into the Hard for Games Facebook chat in case anyone else wants to join?
What link? I didn't receive a link from
I sent you a link via Messenger.
I've not received a link from you. Let me see.
How did you?
How did you get in? Just take a look at our Facebook messages.
Oh, okay. And just post that completely publicly. I gotcha.
Yeah.
I'll just put that on
That's it.
4chan right now.
That's it. Uh-oh. I lost you, John. I lost you. Okay, I gotcha, because I had to put the headphone back in.
All right. Let me put that in the Hard for Games chat. Uh-oh, I almost put that in the Retro Taku chat.
What's that? How long have you and John been friends? I wouldn't even say we're friends now.
Yeah, we're more like frenemies.
Acquaintances.
Yeah, we touched butts a couple times, but aside from that, no, high school, sophomore year, was it sophomore or junior year, John? I don't recall. I think it was
Sophomore.
yeah, sophomore.
Freshman maybe.
I
I
think it was
met
sophomore.
you.
John and Tony don't agree.
Maybe
on
it was
when they
sophomore.
became friends.
I know that I definitely met TJ and company like towards the end of freshman year, though.
Okay, yeah, then it must have been some time, because you were already pretty established with TJ at that point in time. So I think
Yeah.
it was sophomore year.
Yeah, the class that I actually first really got to hang out with TJ, because we'd been in middle school and we
Yeah.
knew of each other, but we'd never really hung out before high school. But it was just me and TJ and this one kid who only knew how to talk about the Insane Clown Posse in the back of this class.
Oh no.
And so like I was not a big jug at the time, so
Nor are you
it was
currently.
just, TJ and I hanging out, and this guy telling us about the Great Malenko, which was a fascinating story.
You guys were like forced comrades because you're like, all right, well, I have no choice but to be friends with TJ because we're like, it's kind of like
I got no beef with Juggalos, but at the time I was like, dude, I literally haven't heard any of these albums.
Yeah.
And it was the only conversation you could have. It's like when you're stuck going to like a football party and you don't watch football, and they're like, oh, well, it's all right. Football's easy to go into. Like, remember this pass in 1967?
Yeah.
You're like, no, I don't watch football.
Yeah, well, it's just like, you know, for example, like, I played Pokemon Crystal recently, but it's like, I don't know the names of every single Pokemon and type and this and that. It's like Pokemon. So it's like I can go and
Bakugan.
enjoy some sports ball, but it's like I haven't followed the players' careers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like a lot of people that follow the players' careers, and it's like, okay, I can see the name of the person on the back of their jersey. I know what they're doing. I know whether it's good, whether it's bad, and that is the extent of it. Because I have not like followed them. I'm not in a fantasy league, you know, whatever.
I only really ever watched any football when I was at Michigan Tech, because a lot of the bars would give out free drinks whenever there was a touchdown.
Yeah,
that either the Lions or Packers would do.
Yeah.
And Packers games were more entertaining because one of the players' names was HaHa Clinton Dix.
Nice.
Oh.
And so every single time they'd say his name, I'd go, hee 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 hee.
Have you heard of?
Have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Oh, the Polymega console coming out July 7th. I'll believe it when I see it.
What are you doing? Oh, okay. When's the fruit supposed to arrive, babe? Any minute. Okay. Our baby woke up. She's like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Is the food here? Like, what's happening?" I'm gonna track our order here real quick.
Yeah, you gotta make sure that food doesn't get stolen by that neighbor who tried to steal your compressor.
Yeah, that wasn't a neighbor. That was just some random.
Oh, scrapper.
Scrapper. Yeah, I've never had.
Scrappers are not to be trusted.
I've had like our, you know, we have a stroller that's like a $200 stroller or whatever, and like also Thomas's little tricycle. I've left them out accidentally all night on multiple occasions. Never had an issue. I think it was just because it was.
You leave a tool out, somebody's after that.
Yeah, but also too is at the curb, and I think he in his scrapper brain got real confused.
Like that time you messaged me where you were like, hey, there's like 10 decent Sony and like Toshiba TVs on the curb, like 2 blocks from me. They'll probably be there in an hour. I was there like 10 minutes later, and I walk over and I realize that all of them are broken. And this guy drives up and he goes, "Oh, I already got the copper out of all those." And I was like, good job. That was like $300 worth of TVs you just broke. And he just stares at me. He goes, "Oh, crap." And then he just drives off.
Nice.
Yep, great.
Good work. Yeah, yeah, but I mean, otherwise I've had no real issues. There's a question in the chat about the Polymega. I'm interested in it. I'm not, like, I'm not, like, following it crazy, but I mean, interested.
Everything always seems to be, like, delays and caveats, so it's like, I'll believe it when I see it. I hope it does come out, but yeah, I don't know.
How old were we when we did the original 64DD videos? That was in like 2010. So we were
10 years old.
23, 24, something like that. How long have you and Anna been together? This will be our 11-year anniversary, or 12-year anniversary. Hang on, let me calculate here real quick because our anniversary's in 2 days. Calculator. Got together and
Mission 5. Terrible.
12 years we've been together. I didn't feel like doing it.
Literally opens a calculator.
I'm so tired. Our 8-month-old will not sleep. She's doing great otherwise. She's crawling.
Oh, whoops.
Uh-oh,
I have the video open on my phone. I accidentally turned the volume up.
Anyways, an 8-month-old is not supposed to be waking up every 2 hours, but she has been all of her life. So it's brutal. Actually, for the first couple months she wasn't, and then she got worse. But I mean, otherwise she's great. She's a pretty easy baby, but she just does not sleep. And it's killing me. I've been sleep deprived for so many years.
Let's start a petition to make Nintendo give us 5 stocks for stimulus. Yeah, that'd be nice.
You know,
so we had a guy call the shop today.
Yeah.
And he kept asking like a whole bunch of weird questions and was like non-committal on everything.
Yeah.
And was just taking up time and just kept calling back for further weird questions like,
yeah.
Hello, do you have any Pokemon games for the PlayStation 3? No, there are none. Are you sure? Are you sure? It's like, yeah, it's Pokemon. It's on Nintendo systems.
Yeah.
It's Pokemon. And guy just kept asking over and over about that. And finally, we had to block his number. And then after his number was blocked, he tried to call something like an additional 15 times.
Jesus.
And it was like we were trying to take other calls, and he would just call, and it would go dee, and he'd just call, dee, call, dee, call, dee. So you know that like call waiting beep that's just the most annoying thing in the world? It was like that for like half an hour.
You guys get some of the weirdest people, but then again, you know,
yeah,
a lot of gamers are strange folk.
Yeah, I mean, like, normally that sort of thing, I just put up with it. I'm like, whatever. You know, you might be a little odd, but hey, why not? Yeah, I'm a friendly guy. I want to be accommodating. But then it's like, with the way curbside works, everything takes 10 times as much work, and we just don't have the time. And people are trying to call because they're outside of the building trying to pick up their stuff, and they have limited time. And someone's literally going, I will only buy whichever is the most popular Dragon Ball game do you have. Which is the most popular Dragon Ball game that you have? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I do work at a game store. It's independently run, so thankfully we get a decent amount of control. Yeah, it's extremely rare that we get prank callers. We just get weirdos at Retro Taku. It's great, though. I like it.
So, I actually bought this curbside Retro Taku. We were very careful. Both John had a full-on, like, asbestos-grade respirator on.
Oh, yeah, P100 respirator.
Yeah, I had a N95 mask, and, you know, John had gloves. He has his normal glasses, then he had, like, wraparound, which is kind of what I wear when I go to the grocery store. I do gloves, N95 mask, and goggles. But, so it was all safe, very good, everything. And got this game from them. I've been eyeing it for a while. It's one of the very few shmups on the N64, and it's not super well reviewed. Like, people seem to either, like it's kind of like moderately reviewed, moderate to positive. Some people really like it, but the general consensus is that it's, like, okay. But I like, not being, like, a hardcore shmup guy, I could probably see some more hardcore fans being like, oh, this isn't, you know, hard enough for this or that or whatever, but I'm really enjoying it. Like, I played it for about an hour last night, got to the end boss, resumed today, beat the game, and it's just a fun little time waster. Anyways, that's my spiel about Star Soldier. John is speechless for my spiel about Star Soldier.
Yeah, I am, like, I did not realize this is what Star Soldier is, and I think I might have to grab the next copy that comes through. We had, like, the ugliest copy I'd ever seen in my life that was super cheap for ages, and I kept thinking, maybe I should grab that, and then I just didn't, and now I should.
Yeah, I was hoping that you still had that one, because I don't really care what the cover looks like, the sticker, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. I like N64 shmups, few and far between they are.
Oh, man. So I had somebody bring in probably the best condition, most complete Pokemon Gale of Darkness I've ever seen.
Oh, I saw that,
not too long ago. And I was like, oh, man, this is awesome. Okay, there's Sharpie on the outside. That's the easiest thing in the world to get off of the case, as long as it's not, like, scratched in there.
Yeah.
So in, like, a single wipe, I get it off, and I'm like, yeah, see, Sam, this is real easy to do. And then I open it, and on the disc label is somebody's Sharpied name, and I was like,
God damn.
oh, that's going to take a long time. So I had to use, like, a low-concentration rubbing alcohol with a Q-tip, gently massaging it for, like, 20 minutes. But then afterwards, I was like, okay, you can put that in there. Slap, like, $80 on the price tag. It's good.
Yeah, for $80, you will spend your time to make sure that it's...
Yeah, we had somebody come in with the ugliest PlayStation 2 case I've ever seen, and then when I opened... Like, I couldn't see what it was from the outside. I opened it, and I was like, oh, this is Samurai Western. Yeah, I'm going to spend a while cleaning this one up, because it's like, at the time, it was like $180.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'll clean that boy.
Sorry, periodically get distracted with these bosses.
Fix consoles at our store, but there is a guy who's local we usually pass people along to. I'm going to have him actually triple bypass my Genesis at some point during all this. Because his friend printed a whole bunch of the PCBs, and so I'm going to get all the mods and stuff for my Genesis done, so we'll have nice, crisp Genesis capture without any jail barring. Good news. I sent the message to Bobby, and I was like, hey, heads up. If you join the chat, you will immediately be in the live stream. So maybe for this stream, not dicks out for Harambe. And he immediately says, well, I'm out then.
You drinking anything, John?
Yes. I have the Mr. Pink 2019 edition by Tool, which is a Belgian brewer. I first found out about them at Paramita Sound, but one of the DJs and like other people who works at Paramita also works at Western Market, and he gets me crazy discounts on beer there, like stupid discounts. Like I got a flat of, it was 6 4-packs of beer that are normally like $20 per pack, and he was like, "Yeah, we'll just call that 30." I was like, what? These are normally 20 each. And he's like, yeah, we'll just call it 30 for the whole thing. Yeah, we're still making a profit. And I was like, oh, deal. A lot of boys did. Retro Taku was located in Madison Heights, Michigan. Okay. It's near Warren, Royal Oak. It's in southeast Michigan, north of Detroit.
Did your food come?
I don't think so.
Okay.
What food did you order?
She can't hear you, but it was sushi.
Ooh, where from?
Hi Sushi.
Oh, okay, they're pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like they're wrapping up right now.
I get it. They're wrapping up the sushi.
What did you order from them?
The Sunday morning roll and vegetable tempura and egg sashimi and miso soup.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty good.
What? So, see, I was going to continue with saying what I was drinking, which was the Founders Red Rye IPA, which is pretty good. It's a Michigan-only thing.
Crazy as it sounds, that's actually one of the hardest systems for us to keep in at work, is the
Red's
GameCube.
IPA? It's not really a system as it is a beer.
No. I always just have Red's IPA because of a friend of the show, Craig Phillips. I almost start saying TV's Craig T. Nelson.
You mean Red's
but-
hard cider, not Red's IPA.
Yeah, Red's apple IPA ale cider beer.
No. False.
There aren't balls in that. What? Balls is the energy drink that people used to stack at QuakeCon.
What are you reading, babe?
I'm laughing at John.
All right,
I'm
now the
laughing
question
with
is,
John.
can I keep up with the chat while also grinding in Dark Souls? That's the trick.
That is the trick. All right, well, this is the last level, babe. You want to give it a go?
No.
Oh man, here comes the crystal.
Really?
Yeah.
This is the game's this short?
It's super short. Yeah, there's a couple of secret levels, and I think there's maybe like a post game level if you play on hard difficulty. I could be wrong on that. But it's like 6 levels. You can beat it within 40 minutes.
Huh. Should do Ikaruga after this.
I actually don't own Ikaruga, nor have I ever played it.
That was pretty good.
I've heard. What system would you recommend playing it for?
There's some decent versions for a whole bunch of different things. I mean, Dave Zukora has a machine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with like the monitor and like the Tate mode and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But the Dreamcast version is stupidly expensive these days. But it's like you can get it for Steam, you can get it for Switch, you can get it for everything. You can get that boy on anything these days.
I like how when I ordered it, it was like estimated arrival time 8:50. It will not be later than 9:10. And now it's like estimated arrival time 9:20.
What time is it now? 9?
Oh,
my god.
Anna, I have a bad delivery story for you. I ordered something off Amazon, and they kept saying, "Don't worry, it'll be to your house by Saturday night." I ordered it last week, and so they still hadn't updated that they had shipped it. I was like, okay, is it really shipping? Should I order a second one just so that I can like have another in queue in case this doesn't ship, and then cancel that one if this one does finally ship? Well, like 11:40 last night, they're like, it's shipping. 2 a.m. this morning. It's out of our factory. Update at noon today? Oh, actually, that was a glitch. It broke on the factory floor 2 days ago, and we forgot to update you.
Oh my god.
What a
I was like,
pain.
great. Thank you, Amazon. Amazing.
Oh.
Kyle says, where are you guys from in Michigan? I'm from Detroit. I think for the sake of being simple, we will also say we are in Detroit. Metro
Yeah,
Detroit.
Metro
The
Detroit area.
Southeast.
Southeast Michigan.
I received a game this week that I bought in January 2019. That's impressive.
Oh my god.
That's like a world record there.
This boss isn't too scary for you, is it, babe?
I'm so scared.
Yeah, it's entirely possible we'll never see those Earthbound 64 prototypes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of shipping things, we've been having to buy some things on Amazon just because we can't find them. But even buying things on Amazon is like dicey these days.
Oh yeah, it's like a nightmare.
And Tony and our anniversary is tomorrow. And we're like, oh yeah, I didn't get you anything. Because it's like,
Well,
everything we want to get is like from overseas, and there's just like no way that it's ever gonna get
Yeah,
here.
Yeah,
it's not
there
gonna
was some
get there in
stuff on
time.
Etsy, and like
Well, it's just not
95%
even
of the
gonna,
stuff
like,
on
ever get
Etsy
here ever at
is
this point.
from the UK, and I'd ordered a couple things from Europe for Hard for Games, and I've been waiting a month.
Yeah.
And it still says it hasn't even gotten to the US.
Oh, you'll love this, Tony.
Thank you very much,
There have been-
Tony Montiero. Oh, sorry, go on.
So there's all these like N95 like modules for respirators on Amazon. And you always have to look in the reviews, because if it isn't like MSA or 3M or one of the big brands, you're like, okay, I want to make sure this isn't a counterfeit who's just trying to pass this off, the cheapest thing. And one guy was like, so I pulled this apart. The N95 filter was not a proper like bonded N95 layer. It was cotton that was just cut to the shape and put in there.
Oh
and
God.
The charcoal was just a briquette and gravel.
Oh my God.
Nice.
And it's like, oh my God. So like he shows like blowing air through it, and you see chunks of the shit flying out the other end into where your face would be. So you would have been inhaling the shit. It's like, great. So it doesn't do anything. So even before this, if you would have been like, I got to tear out some asbestos.
Yeah.
Gonna get some of that mesothelioma.
Well, that's the thing, is that like anytime there's a crisis, but like even like you said before, anytime people just take advantage, you know, like it's really sad. It's like you think you're being protected, but you are in fact not. Luckily, my dad, being the hoarder that he is, just had a bunch of N95 masks, just because.
Well, they're good name brands.
They're good name brands, you know, because he's a boomer. It has to be a good name brand. So
he has everything.
Yeah, he does have everything. So I think we're probably going to wrap up here in a minute, because Anna's food's going to get here, and then probably...
Are you worried her sushi might get cold?
Well, yes, I guess. You are the champion. We are the champion. I guess we'll take a couple more questions here. Or, John, if you had any other...
I have to agree with you.
Oh, Amanda just got on.
Oh, is she? I don't
Perfect
see...
timing. It says, of course, now you wrap up ass butts.
I can see where that is.
Tony, please review Mirror House Cornflakes. I have no idea what that is.
I was going to say, I have to agree with your boy. GameCube is getting way, way too expensive to, like, collect for. Like, let me put it this way. I think I bought Twilight Princess loose for like $20 a year or two ago. Loose, it's like, I don't know. Hi, Amanda. 50 almost now. And Twin Snakes, I bought complete for like 40 something. And last time we had it in the shop, it was like almost $70. It's like one of those games we put in the glass case so people don't like steal the manual and inserts anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's
like,
why
I've seen people trying to steal artwork off of GameCube titles that are only like $15-20.
Oh my God.
And it's like, people are nuts for the cube right now.
That's why when I was in, and I think you guys were having some sort of sale or something, but there were a couple of GameCube games like Kirby's Air Ride that's like $30 games US, and there was like $4 for the Japanese version. I'm like, this is a racing game. I'm gonna get the $4 Japanese version.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Like, there's no reason why I need...
We have like 11 copies of Smash Brothers DX, which is the Japanese Melee. Yeah. All you need is a swap disc or any of the basic mods to be able to play it. And people will just come in and be like, I mean, this is only $9.95, but I'd rather have the other one. I'm like, oh, the one that's like $50 loose. It's the same game.
Yeah.
Like, the mechanics are the same.
That's insane. It's truly insane.
What's crazy is you could just grab a whole bunch of like our Wii's are like $40 right now.
Yeah.
You could just go in, region mod those Wii's, grab a whole bunch of our our Smash Brothers, and congratulations, you have the cheapest setup ever seen for Smash Tourney.
Yeah, well, I would recommend that you don't do any of that, because you're not supposed to be going into the store these days, because it's curbside only. So don't go in and grab a
Well, I
bunch
mean,
of
you
stuff.
could just call us. My favorite is, we had somebody call, and he was like, hey, can I come in the store? And I was like, no, you can't really. And he's like, oh, okay. So how would I browse? I was like, well, what do you want to look at? And he's like, Dreamcast. I was like, it's a short section. So I read off the games, and he asked about various, like, oh, does that have the manual? Yes, it does. Oh, yeah, I can send you a picture of that. And then when he shows up, he just opens the door and starts walking in. We're all like, no, 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 you have to get back out. You have to get back out. And he's like, no, 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 it's okay. I'm just here to buy stuff. Like, no, it's called curbside.
Yeah. Like, get the hell out of here.
You have to just stand out there and call us. And he just keeps trying to take another step in until Dan was finally like, get out of my store and call me.
Yeah.
The guy's like, it's all right. It's all right. I don't think I'm sick. And I'm like, that isn't good enough.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. Well, I think our baby woke up again. And Anna Sue's going to be here soon. So I think we're going to call the stream here.
Tony, do you want to talk at all a little bit about the leaks that happened?
Nah.
Not in regards to the potty training we were talking about earlier. But,
no, because my kid just woke up. But I mean,
so we are talking about those leaks then.
I mean, realistically, it's like there was a bunch of SDK stuff. The 64DD stuff does not realistically change anything that we know. It's like a lot of stuff we already had, and there was some evidence in there that Luigi Bud mentioned that they were developing it for other regions that we didn't know about, like Europe.
Yeah.
And the GameCube SDK stuff, the Wii stuff. From what I understand, it's cool, but it's not going to be really implemented into any emulators because Nintendo would be down their throats with legal action.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's the. I'm not familiar with the 3DS stuff. I think it was also an SDK or like something. There were a bunch of N64 like Silicon Graphics demos for like,
Neat.
but a lot of them had already been released. I think a lot of them or all of them were like already out there, but like obscurely on the internet because I had seen some before, but these were like packaged. So I think for the average individual, this doesn't change anything. I think for some real diehard tech people that are into the software development kit side of things, the SDKs, I think it does, it's some stuff to look at and play around with, but I think the average hardcore Nintendo fan, the average gamer doesn't care, but the average hardcore Nintendo fan, it still won't really affect or change anything regarding what we do.
Yeah. Now, Tony, I see something very important. Apparently, Garfield 3DS beta was released.
Oh, wow.
So
okay, well, that changes everything.
Yeah, we might have to,
changes
just
everything.
Cancel everything
That changes
on our
absolutely
plans.
Everything.
Sell literally everything we have and just show your feet, Tony.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, the Garfield protos were not related
Garfield.
to from Garfield pros weren't related to the leak though, but
but still Garfield.
Yeah, exactly, it's Garfield. But yeah, no, I think that it's neat to see that stuff. I'd hate to be the person that hacked Nintendo because like considering what they released to the public is really cool
that
from a
person's gonna
preservation
have a
standpoint.
Bad
but
day in the court.
Yeah, it's they're probably a repeat offender too. So I mean, it's super interesting.
Recidivist.
But it's I don't know. I think that I'm still holding out for some bigger stuff.
I hope there ends up being like a Shyamalan twist and it was Reggie.
Yeah, it was Reggie. Yeah, exactly. All right, well, I got to go help my wife with my children, one of which I think is awake. But thank you all for joining us tonight. Sorry for leaving for those people that just joined. I think we've been streaming for a little while, at least an hour or so. But John, thank you for joining as well. Good sir. And
yeah.
we'll see you all later. Take care, guys.